then I definitely think that's where you want to spend most of your time doing that, because that's what you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of not only you're going to get paid to do it, but also you're going to be getting a lot of great experiences. Well, welcome to Am I Ready, Jeff? How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. And so now Purdue is in West Lafayette.
Yep.
And Indiana. And where exactly is West Lafayette?
West Lafayette is like an hour west from Indianapolis, in the middle of cornfields as far as the eye can see.
Okay.
It's essentially a college town, kind of like Austin. Oh, Austin's bigger than that, but West Lafayette's like a college town.
Okay.
Because it's a branch off of the main city Lafayette, and the main city Lafayette is like where you all like the big malls and stuff. West Lafayette just has like Purdue, and then like a few restaurants scattered a little bit off campus, and then research facilities everywhere, and then corn.
Right. Gotcha. So it's in the middle of cornfields.
Yep.
Okay. And so the Purdue Boilermakers, which is your mascot, correct?
I don't know the hand sign for it. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I wasn't going to do the hand sign, but I was going to say congratulations to the Purdue Boilermakers for beating Michigan State on Saturday. Huge game for Purdue. So, I always like to root for the underdog, and so I was rooting for Purdue. Purdue won. Woohoo, Purdue! So,
yeah.
So, Jeff, why don't you? We're going to look at your mapped account today. We're going to, take a look at everything and give you a sense of, kind of what my thoughts are with regard to your progress and where things stand as of now, and then how you anticipate things are going to be looking next May. And so ultimately what we're going to be doing today is making a determination on whether or not I think you're ready to apply. Hence the name, Am I Ready? So are you ready, Jeff, to get on with it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So there we have your mapped account. And so if we look, first of all, Jeff, at your GPA graph, which is the first thing we see when we go to the dashboard and mapped, what we'll see here is we see a cumulative undergraduate GPA as 3.84 and a science GPA of 4.0. You're not very good in the sciences, are you?
No, not really. I'd say it's my weakest subject.
Yeah, I figured. So what I want to point out on this graph is the scale on the left side, because what this looks like, the first sort of half of this graph, it kind of looks like you had these wild swings and these big troughs in your GPA. But what I want to point out here is that the scale, the way this is scaled on the left-hand side there, is only down to a 3.5. And so what we're seeing here is an indication to me, Jeff, that you're a really good student in the classroom. Would you agree with that?
I try my best. I do whatever I can.
Yeah, it looks to me like you're doing a great job, and that you're a very strong student in the classroom. Now, tell me, Jeff, what is your major?
My major is biology. Something to explain here is that there is, like you see, as you mentioned, the big fluctuations. I was in electrical engineering. I started in engineering in the summer, like right after senior year. So I came into college early, and around fall 1920, spring 1920, 21 is when I started entering my bio major and doing bio class instead of engineering.
Gotcha. And so that's where the 4.0 grades start showing up, correct?
Yeah, that's where it started to get a little bit better. This semester's been pretty rough though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say pretty rough in your vernacular, what does that actually mean? What do you think you're going to have at the end of this semester?
I think my GPA is going to drop a little bit. I think in one of the classes, I can't get an A in it anymore. It was a very difficult class. It's immunobiology. So I'm thinking my semester GPA, like for this semester, might drop down to like a 3.8, 3.7 maybe.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, so that's still a strong showing for academic work, particularly. I think that what you're doing is a good job in the classroom, and so that's what we're going to concentrate on. You've got a good, strong GPA. When you get up in the area of the GPA that you're at, the 3.8, 3.9, 4.0 area, I mean that's just stellar, and so
Thank you.
I'm very much encouraged by that. So, you obviously do a lot of work, and that's really cool. So I'm glad you're doing that. So we'll put it like that. Okay, good. So the next thing that we're going to look at is we're going to go down to the other metric, and we're going to talk about MCAT scores. So basically what we see here is that you have one full-length blueprint practice exam that you scored a total score of 507. Now, this is your first attempt, so this is kind of a diagnostic attempt.
So I didn't input my diagnostic. I regret I forgot to do that. I wasn't sure how to do it properly. I'm using the Blueprint MCAT system, that the program that you guys have. So this is the first one I took after taking the diagnostic.
Okay, so what was the diagnostic score?
499.
499. Okay. So, and when did you do that?
I did that around September 9th.
September 9th. Okay. So that's basically about a week, a little under a week between the diagnostic and this full length.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, so what I would say about this now, when are you scheduled to take the official exam?
The 21st.
When?
The 21st of January.
21st of January. Okay, so you've got.
Oh, that's marked as 2021. Oops.
Oh yeah.
I've been working on it. There's not. I know it's like November now, and that's the only practice exam I have on. I've been dealing with a lot of mental health problems and some stuff going on too. So I haven't been able to really sit down and be able to take another practice exam.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mostly spending like Thanksgiving break and like December break, really like focusing, honing in on just grinding through some more practice exams, getting more problems through.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, basically, I like it that you're taking the January exam, end of January exam. I like it that you are, that gives you an opportunity to take an exam in, let's say, April, if you didn't score kind of where the area you want to score in. And so I really am supportive of a January test date if you're ready for January. So, and I think you've got plenty of time. You've got basically November, December, and most of January. So you've got 3 months between now and that test date. And so I think, as long as you really are, hitting it pretty hard, and with a 507 at this point, that's a pretty strong score already. So I think, and obviously you're going to, with additional studying and with more practice exams and stuff, you're going to get, you're going to go up from there. So I feel really good about where things are for you on the MCAT definitely take advantage of the Blueprint program and what they're doing for you. Take advantage of as many practice exams as you can, both the Blueprint ones as well as the AAMC ones, and that would be definitely advisable. But I agree that doing it, hitting it pretty hard over the holidays that are coming up is great. You're going to have really probably most of January where you won't be in school anyway.
Yep.
And so you have a lot of time to kind of really hit the MCAT and see how things go at that scoring that exam in January. So that's great.
Cool.
Good. So let's go back to the dashboard, and I want to look at your activities. So what we see here now, is 113.65 activity hours, and it looks like they're spread amongst community service, a little bit of volunteer, shadowing, things like that. So let's go to the details of your activities, and if you'll just kind of walk me through what we're seeing here, tell me what each of these is, and just kind of describe it to us.
Yeah, so one of the things that was difficult for me was that I changed from engineering to pre-med.
Yeah.
And in engineering, I didn't really have any requirements for like volunteering or anything like that. So I basically started from zero. And I switched into pre-med like basically the next semester after the big COVID pandemic. Like basically this, like, remember the December of COVID? That's when I switched into pre-med. And so I started off pretty strong with like IU Arnett volunteering. That was the first thing I really got my hands on. And from there, I was trying to contact, I basically went through Indiana University's health program and their hospital system. I was volunteering in the emergency department, helping out stock linens, and occasionally I would be able to shadow the emergency room physicians there while helping out. And I did that for the whole winter semester. Before COVID started really becoming a thing. And so I got some shadowing hours there. But then after basically when winter break happened or spring break happened, they told us that we wouldn't be able to volunteer anymore. They just shut off all volunteering there.
Right.
So I couldn't do that anymore. So I had this brief phase over like the summer too, where I just really couldn't get anything done. And so that's why I don't really have any. And shadowing is also very difficult to get for me at this moment because all of my contacts, they're all like, yeah, we see you volunteer here before, and we got to give spaces to other people who want to volunteer or to shadow as well.
Yeah.
So that's been difficult for me. But I would say like the shadowing experience for me has been very like fulfilling and like very rich in my memory because I really got to sit down and like talk with them and like spend like the 5 hours I was volunteering there helping them out and just really listening to them and talk about what they were up to. And so after that, I started after the spring break and that thing, I came back and I started volunteering at the vaccine clinic, which mainly involved me just kind of it's pretty lame job, but at least I was helping out. I just kind of made sure people sat there for 15 minutes to make sure they didn't have any adverse reactions to any of the vaccines. But I got to talk to a lot of pharmacists, some nurses. I got to talk to a lot of interesting patients as well. And there were some situations where it got kind of handy got really like scary at some points where we had a lot of staff come down and deal with it. And then after that, I basically do around one volunteering opportunity every semester if I can. And I think I'm trying to help out Habitat like every semester if I can, because that's one of the volunteer opportunities I found I've really enjoyed. I love the people there. I love helping out. And this summer, I didn't really get any volunteering opportunities because I was focusing on my EMT training, which I am going to hopefully be starting soon. Working as an EMT, and
so you've already done the training of EMT or no?
Yes, I'm already done training. I have to take the national registry, which I have been working on and trying to trying to get ready for. It's a daunting task, and with the MCAT too and schoolwork, I've been suffering a little bit on my mental health, so I've been working on that too. So hopefully, I'm gonna start working soon. My plan is to use EMT as my clinical experience throughout, hopefully, November break and all the way through when I apply to med school and after too. Just working as EMT and just getting out there and helping out, wherever I can, because I really think that as far as I've seen as like with the EMT training and clinicals, I really enjoy like being able to be in those kind of high tense situations, high tense or high tension, and really having to like think on the spot and like deal with these kind of things. Because I've always thought it was really interesting, like all these situations. If you be in like a pre-med and in like a physician too, you're dealing with the patient after they reach the hospital, right? After they've made it, you don't really get to really see the side of like, oh, what's the process of getting the patient into the ambulance and on the way there, like keeping them alive, keeping them so that the physician can take a look at them. So that's what I was really interested in and pursuing with EMT.
Okay, good. Now in the activities section, the first one that is listed here is GOAL, goal. I don't know.
Yeah. So that was a program. I wasn't really sure how to input those hours because it was one of those things where we started off with like it's a weekly meeting with students, and like for us it was like elementary school. It was like kind of after school activity where we would teach kids about how to live healthy lives, like with diet, with exercise, stuff like that. But again, because of COVID, we had that program for about 2 weeks, and then it just got canceled. It was like, well, we can't let you go meet the kids anymore because of COVID restrictions.
Right.
So it just kind of fell through.
Well, but you did it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it was like around six hours ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's definitely something that you want to include.
Okay.
And I understand what you're saying. I mean, basically, you are a good example of how COVID has affected students in a way that has made it very difficult for you to move forward with clinical and shadowing, patient contact kind of things. And so what I would say about that is that, you know, what now that things have opened up, some, over the course of the next, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So we got basically 7 months between now and May. And you need to really be getting some, really, hopefully the EMT thing will work out and you'll be able to do that. But even at that, I really would like to see you be doing as much volunteering as possible, the shadowing that you can do. I'm sure it's a little bit difficult there at Purdue and in the surrounding area because there's so many students that are wanting to do it, and so it's hard to get those positions. But even when you're back home for the holidays, continue to try to do things when you're back home. Shadowing, getting shadowing opportunities, volunteering kind of things, anything that you can do. But I would like to see this go up, obviously. Continue with the Habitat for Humanity since you really like it.
Yeah, I volunteer
great.
with them every weekend. I make sure to plan at least like 4 hours every weekend at least coming to help them out.
Perfect. That's perfect. And then, just doing as much clinical activity as you can while you're both home for the holidays as well as back in Lafayette when you hopefully will be able to do EMT stuff. So that would be good.
I'm planning on this finding shadowing opportunities has always been like a bit of a difficult thing for me because I never know how to properly do it, and that's a conversation for another time. I think. But like I was definitely planning on when going home, trying to reach out to like other like volunteer EMT stuff, trying to reach out see if I can get some part-time hours while I'm home as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I mean you just gotta hit just beat the bushes, and that's about all you can do. That's about all you can do. Okay, well, good. Um, Back at the dashboard, we see that your prereqs are almost done. Are you doing some chemistry right now?
So I think my chemistry prereq, I think I'm going to try to use AP credit, but I should have sent my general chemistry there. I don't know if I uploaded it. I might have not tagged it correctly. I should have some general chemistry credit there.
Yeah, it looks like it's saying that you have about half of the. So, did you take one Gen Chem class at Purdue?
Yeah, I took the basic Gen Chem class, I think. I might have not. That might have skipped over as I uploaded my courses. But I should be meeting all of the uh, requirements for, yeah, I have my Chem 12901
Yeah, I
as
see
general
that one.
chemistry.
I see the Gen Chem 12901, and then, but you're saying that there should be another one on here?
I thought that was all I needed, especially with all the other chem courses I'm taking with organic chemistry and
It could,
stuff like
and it
that.
could be. Every medical school is going to sort of deal with that differently.
Hmm.
So I would hold off on doing anything else with that until you kind of know what's gonna occur next summer and in the fall when you're interviewing and stuff like that. You should be okay, but it looks like you're um, fitting into a category where you may have to ask for whatever med school you're going to matriculate to make a waiver or accept AP credit or something like that. But
Okay.
you'll work individually with the medical school on that kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good. So basically, I guess the conclusion I'm going to come to, Jeff, here is that I definitely think you're obviously a great student. You've got a great academic record here. GPA above 3.75, really above 3.8. Science GPA currently a 4.0. Even if that changes a little bit, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm encouraged by where things are looking for your MCAT. You're at a 507, just having taken one practice exam, and I think if you'll really work hard on that, what is your goal MCAT score?
It is a 520. I'm
Okay.
hoping for a 520. That's what I'm working towards.
Okay.
Because I think that with how weak my volunteer hours are and how weak my shadowing hours are, I'm really going to need to have better stats crunch. So I'm really working towards that.
Okay. Good. Well, I think obviously I want to see you have a strong score, and I think that a 520 would be an amazing score. What you'll need to decide is kind of if you take when you take the exam in January, you need to have a score in mind based on your practice scores, kind of where you're going to be happy sitting. Let's say it's not a 520. Let's say it's a 517. You can be happy with a 517. Are you gonna, what are you gonna do with that? Or what, you need to be thinking about what is the score that I'm going to be happy with. What is the score that I'm gonna think about retaking it? And you'll have to kind of decide. And I would recommend, waiting until you have a better idea of what those practice exams start looking like. And if you're centering right around 515 or something like that. Then it may be a 515 is your score. Your sort of retake possibility score. So you'll just need to be thinking about that as you get closer to that January 21 date.
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, and I think you're right on target with this. It's the activity hours that I think are going to be crucial for you over the course of the next 7 months. And I think that obviously this picture is going to look a lot differently when you get to next May. There's going to be more hours regardless of what what you do. There's going to be more. There's going to be more volunteering hours with Habitat. There's going to be more clinical hours because of stuff that you're planning to do and things like that. So my strong suggestion is just do the best you can to increase those clinical hours and look at opportunities there in West Lafayette, and then also when you're back in Austin for the holidays, looking for opportunities. Something that you might want to consider next spring when you're back at school is something like hospice is a great example of a really good thing that a lot of students do. Hospice volunteering, often they're there's no relatively little training and stuff like that they have to go through. But if the EMT thing works out, then I definitely think that's where you want to spend most of your time doing that, because that's what you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of not only you're going to get paid to do it, but also you're going to be getting a lot of great experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, what I would say right now, Jeff, is that I'm going to give you a green light. I think you'll be ready by next May, assuming some of the things that we've just talked about. I think that you're really on your way. You want to, the biggest hurdle right now for you is the clinical contact hours. I have a great deal of confidence that your GPA is going to look great, that your MCAT score is probably going to look really great, and it's just, I think you're right. It's just the experience part of it is what we need to work on, and I will mention, Jeff, and we can talk about that here as well. That Jeff, you are taking advantage of our advising services here at MAPT. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Yep. So for those of you that don't know, that are listening to the podcast or that are watching this video, MAPT offers advising services, and Jeff has just recently signed up to work with me. We'll be meeting once a month, and we'll be really tracking through everything. I'll be working with him on his personal statement, on his activity descriptions, everything for the application, all the secondaries we're going to work together on next summer, and then we'll eventually start working on interview practice. And so we're going to walk this whole road together. And so this is one of the packages, one of the things that we offer at MAPT. And so certainly you can go to mapt.com and look at the advising services that we have if you're interested in seeing, what's available and what it looks like and what we can do for you. So, but Jeff, I'm excited about working with you. I'm excited about what things are going to happen with you over the next months, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I definitely think you're looking good. I think based on what I see, I think you'll certainly be ready to apply next year with the assumptions, that the caveats that we've talked about. But yeah, keep up the good work. Don't let all of this stress you out too much. I think one of the things that we talk about a lot at MAPT and on Ask the Dean broadcasts and on these Am I Ready broadcasts is you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to keep yourself in a position where you're caring for your own mental health and your mental well-being and stuff like that. So don't forget to do that. But otherwise, Jeff, keep up the good work.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we thank you for joining us on Am I Ready? And I definitely think come next May, it looks to me like you're going to be ready to apply, Jeff, and it'll be fun to see how things play out.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you.